Hey, good evening, everybody. How's it going tonight? Texas Redleg here, throwing out a video as we go along, day by day. And it looks to me like, according to the calendar, you've got about 6 days to get those regulated items that we talked about, and those hotly sought after items that are at the stores and such. 6 days left, and I would assume that by now you've probably accepted the fact that you're going to have chaos at some point in your life here coming up shortly. It's a guess, who knows, but I will be prepared for it. So at this point, we're getting down to what we say in Texas, we're getting down to the nut cutting here. And you were just going to have what you have. There's no excuses left. We've been talking about this stuff for years. I don't think we can be 100% prepared for everything, but we can be very well prepared for a lot of things. And so there's no excuses left, people. It doesn't take a lot of money to prep. It doesn't take, a bunch of wealth. It does take effort, and it does take timing, and it does take communication with other people. So with that, do the things that you need to do. Everybody's out there chasing the dollar and trying to make this and make that and what you can get and how much you're going to make, and that's all well and good. You got to be able to pay the bills, but if you're ill prepared, what good is it going to do? Because you're not going to be able to buy your way out of this one. All right, it's not going to happen. That's a very short-lived way to think, and once somebody finds out you're sitting on a pile of cash, you're going to be done anyway. That's just how it's going to be. So do the things. You got 6 days, especially for the regulated items, and that regulated items that we know exist out there that are in very short supply are the 2A stuff. It's going to be one of the first things out of the gate on the 20th. Expect it. They've warned you they're going to do it, and you better believe them. Plans matter. All right? Have your A, B, and C. Know them front to back. What you're going to do if you have to leave, what route you have to take, have alternate routes. Rehearse them in your head. Draw paper maps if you have to. Try to get your hands on some paper maps. That's always helpful, I think. Ensure that the KISS method is being followed. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Okay? Sometimes less is more, especially if you're on the road. So, your home base ought to be fortified pretty well and pre-stocked pretty well. You ought to have a cache somewhere that you can get to. Then you ought to have, your transportation method, stocked as well. But keep it simple, stupid, all right? Keep those fuel tanks full. The first thing that gets insane is the gas stations, okay? While you're at the gas station, run inside and see if they got a propane tank you can buy or do an exchange on. The days of expecting to just go to the store and get what you want is soon going to come to an end. This food shortage thing is picking back up now too. Say it's going to hit the UK first, then it's going to hit us. So think about the future. Don't think about next week, 2 weeks from now. Think about the future. I think a lot of you guys are super good on that. I mean, you've got food stacked to the rafters. You've done this for a long time. You don't play around. You know the deal here. But those of you out there that are kicking the can down the road, you're just going to be a victim. Because there's a lot of us out here that have put up with the ridicule and the snickering and the making fun of, and you're just going to be told no. And it's okay to tell people no. You're the one that put forth the effort. You're the one that did the things. So be prepared to tell people no. As you're getting those propane tanks, either purchased or exchanged, be sure to remember like cooking fuels. Of course, propane, you're good to cook on a grill or a little gas stove. That's great. But what about lighting? Do you have lighting if the power goes out? Are you able to have a candle or some type of way to make light without electricity, etc., etc., etc.? All this stuff is, kind of watered down to this point. But I think if you kind of narrow your focus these next 6 days and really think about the likelihood of different scenarios occurring. I did a video on this a few days back about likely scenarios you might want to go check out. But I would gear my preps, at least these next 6 days around those scenarios, and fill those holes if you've got them. So with that, 6 days is not a lot of time, but if, like I said, if you take a day after work or whatever each day and accomplish a goal with regard to your preps, you ought to be in pretty good shape and hit all the food groups. So I wish everybody well. I hope everybody is trying to stay positive. There's not very much positive news on a daily basis, but a lot of us are just going to have to react when it goes down. And so be prepared for that reaction. Anyway, keep prepping. Stack it deep. Please like, share, and subscribe. And long live the Republic.